think about the generations and to say we want to make it a better place for our children and our children's children, so that they know it's a better world for them.
And if you consume these foods that the body can't digest, like all of the food I just mentioned, the body can't digest those meals. That's why when you don't need it, you get gassy feeling.
One of life, conservation ministries, seeing that we are working life, we need to have different we got to serve God. I believe that we should the body should be fit, physically fit, and we should have a balanced life. And that's why I decided to bring in Jamal to speak to us concerning our bodies, how to live healthy, and the type of food that we should be eating.
Mr. Moncur. It was very informative, and if you want to live healthy, first we must realize that we have a living body that God has blessed us with, and why would we want to put something there like he emphasized in the living body? We should want to feed our body with live food.
Your hands for 6 months. For 6 months you hold your hand. And walk with you, still joining, and it's like a coaching program. We get a certificate afterwards, and we those 6 months. After the 6 months, there's no life, like boot camp, but not that bad. But after 6 months of being exposed to what we have to offer, you'll be more motivated. Because it's almost like tricky. Because 6 months without meat, 6 months without dairy, 6 months without disease, 6 months without constipation, you will feel you don't want to go back to that old stuff. You will have new life. Yeah, so for 7 years now I've been doing this, and one thing I realized is that people would start off with the food. Like I do hundreds of speeches, and I would do a speech, and everybody would be so excited after the seminar. They would swarm the table, they would swarm us, they would come, we would offer free consultation. Then next time we sit on the line, Kentucky line, 3 weeks after that, we said, what happened? What happened, man? What happened? Well, you see, we find all excuse. Let me tell you something. It's easy to do what everybody else is doing. It's easy to wake up an hour too late, rush out the house, and say, fine, wrong. Like it's got Wendy's or Burger King or McDonald's and get some powdered eggs. It's easy to get some eggs and let them be. It's hard to say to yourself, you know what? I'm giving somebody else 8 hours of my time. You mean to tell me that I can't allocate 1 hour to take care of my temple? 1 hour to meditate? That's our personal relationship with God. Just talk with Him. Just release the stress out of your life. This passage that says to be in the world but not of the world. Just relinquish all of your burdens. You see what I'm saying? And you'll be amazed to know it has benefit, the ramification, it has benefit of just doing that one thing. If I challenge you today to do that, allocate an hour, wake up early in the morning. If you wake up 6 o'clock in the morning, wake up 5. Wake up 5 o'clock in the morning and cook your own food. Prepare your own lunch. It's easy not to do that. It's hard to do that. But if you work towards it, because now, you may say, well, I can't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You think I'm wanting my bed this morning? Hey, listen to me. Listen carefully. I live on an island. I know you're on an island, right? But I know what you always see what the chicken does. What the chicken does? The chicken, when sun sets, the chicken in the tree sleeping. At dawn, wake up by the song of the crow. Listen to me. That chicken is connected. That's how we're supposed to be. We have an internal clock. Now we know you have different jobs and you're not going to be able to go to bed at a certain time. The protocol, the diet plan that you guys have is fruits in the morning, the heaviest meal, midday, between the hours of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., your last meal. You should not eat after 6 p.m. Now, if you say to me, man, I need my dinner. Listen, if you live like a chicken, you don't want to eat. You sleeping. So how are you eating when you're sleeping? When the sun sets, you're sleeping. And that's how God designed it, because when the sun rises, there's some energy being emitted from that sun. The photons, the phytonutrients that the bodies need at that time. And so you walk on your sheep and the sun rises up, you're missing the energy. You're missing the vitamin D. You're missing the things to combat cancer. You're missing that. So you walk over to the sheep because you want to bed 3 o'clock in the morning. And before you go into bed, you have a 3-course meal. White rice chicken, potato salad. And when you wake up in the morning, you take that same food, put it in the microwave, and then you this off. So that's where we are today. So we need to, again, allocate an hour. Just an hour for us. Love you. Take care of you. Don't allow your job, anybody else to interfere with you. The Bible said that this is the temple. The Bible says a lot of stuff. The Bible also says in Psalms 103, anybody want to quote that with me? Bless the name of the Lord, oh my soul, and all that's within me. Forget not his benefit, and he will take away all of your iniquities, and he will take away some of your disease. Alright? No. He legalized judgment. He said some. Right? You saw me say some? So if the Bible said that he will take away all of our disease, why is the doctor telling us there's no cure for diabetes, no cure for hypertension, no cure for cancer, no cure for no disease? And we believe that, we believe them, Now you know we believe them? Because we take pills for 30, 40 years. That's how you know we believe them. And we start the only disease. It's my diabetes. This is my hypertension. This is mine. This is this is mine. Get your own. And listen, man, we need to behave ourselves. Because if God says, I will take away all of your disease, and the doctor says, God lied, there's no cure for hypertension. Who report? So we need to behave ourselves. So God is not the problem. And when we go from Psalms 103, and we hop over to Psalms 104, you get your Bible. Follow me. If you go to Psalms 104, 14, what it says? Psalms 104, 14 says, God made the grass for the cattle, and he made the herbs for the service of humanity. He didn't say for the white, for the black, for the Chinese. He said, I made the herbs to service humanity. Now, if you were to ask a mechanic who services your car, man, I need to service my car. He said, man, okay, I want to service it. You say, well, what do services entail? He would say, I have to change the spark plug, the spark plug wire, I have to change the oil filter, I have to do all of these different things in order for your car to run. And if the manufacturer, when you buy a new car, tells you that every 3 months, you have to service a car. And if the manufacturer gives you a manual and tells you, this is a car that runs on gasoline fuel, do not put diesel. I do say the hell with you, manufacturer, you can do what I want to do. Listen, the car may run today and tomorrow, but it ain't going to run the way the manufacturer designed it to run. God is our manufacturer, and he tells us the herbs is for the service. So why are we in the pharmacy? If God tells us to service our body with herbs, why are we not doing that? So when we get sick, why are we crashing in him? He did his part. He gave us the manual. But we won't follow man. We want to listen to what they have to say because we love quick fix. We love to pop a pill. And we don't want to be disciplined. It's easy to just pop a pill, put it before the microwave and eat it. It's hard to get your seeds, grow gardens. When I was growing up, There was no lawns, there was garden. Now, people, we've strayed. And so we can't blame God, man. God has made us perfect. Is there no doctor? Is there no balm? He didn't say is there no pharmaceutical, is there no pharmacy in the area? You read that scripture. It didn't say is there no pharmacy in the area. It says, is there no balm? No herbs. Now the reason why I meant that is because it says, is there no physician? Why then is the people suffering? Why then is there so much disease? Listen, if you come to the Bahamas, if you see the amount of sickness and disease, man, that question is so relevant today. And guess what? The question can also be asked, is there no physician? We have too much physician. You have a physician, or what I call an is. An is. You have an is for every part of your body. You have a dermatologist, endocrinologist, a gynecologist, oncologist, a dentist, neurologist. You have an is for every part of the body, and there's not one cure for disease. Not one cure for. Yeah, exactly. There's no cure for no disease. So the question again is asked, that was asked by God Almighty. Is there no physician? Why is the people sick? Is there no balm in Gideon? Why is my people sick? Now, there seems to be confusion because if the question is asked, why is the people sick? We should service our body with herbs and will take away all of your disease. The herbs is for the healing of the nation, and so on and so forth. I give you herb bearing seed. Genesis 1:29. I give you herb bearing seed, and you eat seedless grape, and seedless watermelon, and you end up on drip or an ice cube. Don't question God, because God didn't tell you. He didn't say I give you seedless grape. He didn't say I give you a sucker, banana sucker or cassava sucker. He said I give you herb bearing seed. So if you eat a plant by the sucker, or if you eat a plant that is seedless, don't blame God. Because he tell you, herb bearing seed. Anything about that is not lined up with that, you're in trouble. So, the Bible says, God is not a God of confusion. God is not a God of confusion. And guess what? Good minister asked me to explain what Newlife is all about. Simplicity. Simplicity. We have complexed the topic of healing, where if I walk in the door and the next man come up here with the mic and say he's a herbalist, he will say the opposite of what I just said. There's much confusion, gross misinformation, and there is no healing. The healer has been compromised now. There is no healing in the land. There's no healing. Why? Because we have abandoned the simplistic laws, statutes, precepts, concepts, design, the arrangement that God has put in place. We've abandoned it. You see, the animals, the wild goat, the wild horse, the lizard, the bird, they don't need to read a book to understand what they eat. Anybody remember the tsunami in 2004 in the Asian Peninsula that killed more people than the population of the Bahamas? Anybody remember the tsunami? Yeah. 2004? Over 500 people perished. Now let me tell you what disconnecting yourself from God, from nature does to you. The ocean, when the earthquake came, the next day, the ocean went 5 miles out. So fast that there were fish jumping into the sand. And because we are not connected to God, because we are not connected to nature like how we should be, what we did was we said, this is a blessing from God. Listen, in the olden days, my grandparents used to tell me they didn't have no radar. I was born in Dubai, Cat Island. Now it's Cat Island. When the old people would tell me they didn't have no radar. But when the hurricane was coming, they would know, and they would even know the intensity, the category of the hurricane. They would watch the birds. They would watch nature. And they would go into the shelter, into the ground, storm shelters. They knew because they were connected to nature. They didn't have no radar, no Doppler radar. Went to double area. You're still not being sick. Look what I mean. I went from Freeport on a plane to Turks Caicos Island. When I got to Turks Caicos off the plane, it started raining. And we did a seminar at the church down there. When we came, the next day, they came to me and said, there's a storm, and you stuck in Turks for a week. I said, what? What? Bahamas and data? What's going on? The radar people said they can catch all that. They have the radar and still cannot determine the weather, God weather. But those old people, they watched the animals, they watched the birds, they were connected. So, in the Asian Peninsula, Taiwan, and Philippines, and off the coast of Madagascar, Africa, Cape Verde, Africa, where the tsunami came, when the ocean went up 5 miles, you know what the human beings did? They took some pails and some tubs, and they walked 5 miles of connection in the soggy sand. They started putting the fish and said, thank you, Jesus. Oh Lord, this is a miracle tonight. And they started putting the fish in the pail. When that ocean came roaring, 50 stories up, some of them died and didn't feel a thing. It's like a freight train hit them. But guess what? The only animal in the aftermath that was there was the fish. The birds, a horse, the dogs, the wild camels went into the mountains and seek refuge. When that earthquake came, and when they felt the earth talking to them, when that ocean went up, all of those animals walked up to the mountains, the hills, because they said danger is imminent. Danger is coming. We used to be connected like that. We used to go to the herbs when we had the flu. Anybody remember? Am I lying tonight? Our grandparents used to go and pick. When I was a little boy, I can speak of me personally. I can't speak for you guys. I can speak for me personally. Growing up in Dallas, Island, I got chopped on my hand with a cutlass. Barking open a coconut. 6 years old, I remember vividly. My grandmother said, you see that time switch plug in the corner? I should beat you behind. I'm almost dead. I can see my bone. My flesh. You still see the mark. And you see how long that is? Imagine back then how long it was. She said, man, I should beat you. That's how confident she was that I was not going to die. That it was okay. That's how confident she was. She didn't panic. If I were to get a chop on my hand right now, you're going to rush me to PMH, and I would be there for a couple of weeks with stitches, anesthetics, etc. You know what my grandmother did? She politely walked in the back of the yard, got some cobweb or spiderweb, we had a little cave in the back. She the gentleman in the back with the glasses know about this. Right, sir? You know about this, right? Yeah. So listen. She went to the back and she got some cobweb and she mixed it. I don't know, I ain't that old, but I know any of you remember lard. She got some lard, she mixed the cobweb, the spiderweb with the lard, and she got some fig milk. She went to the fig tree and she got the milk from the fig tree and she mixed that up and she got some herbs and she put it in a cloth and she beat it. Now I don't know, don't ask me what the herb, I can't remember. But she beat the herb and she put the lard, the cobweb, and the fig milk in that and she wrapped it around my hand. And I kid you not, I can't remember feeling pain. I can't remember any issue with bleeding. The bleed, it was what they call it astringent. So it stopped bleeding right away. And today I'm healed with no stitches, no mark, no scars, no problem. And so we have to ask, how did this old woman knew what to do without going to university or school to study anesthesiology or anesthetics? My hand didn't even get an infection. How did she know? My friend was in the country, fell and broke his leg in 3 places. And this grandmother said, Sam, I should beat your little. Got a wood that they call a splinter. Thank you. And this foot is healed today. If that happened today, still without the good leg and The leg with all kind of scarring. These people knew the remedy. So my message to you tonight is this. We need to reconnect. Connect to what? The life. Connect to what? Connect to that which we once knew. I come up here today to talk and fancy, to confuse you. I come up here tonight to remind you of that which you already knew. Because all of us have amnesia in here. How do I know? Because we are doing the things that are consistent with life. All of us are taking pills, we have hypertension, we have diabetes, we are overweight, we have menstrual issues, some of us have a breast off, some of us scared to do mammography. There's a lady, my grandmother was 105 when she died, my great-grandmother. She never did mammography, but check her breast. I know right now, Kid Island over 100. Never allow a doctor to push his hand up his head to check his prostate. And you never will. How can a doctor fix a small disease in me to make you push my hand up your head to check your prostate? He let him a cut with a time and switch. But we've allowed ourselves to come down to that level where if that gentleman in the back there tell his friend, man, I ain't checking my prostate in 2 years. They gonna look at him and say, man, you crazy? But you another doctor, you gonna check it? Boy, you know how did Billy go to check his prostate? Wow! When you put your breast between two titanium plate and a platinum plate, and they put that heat, that radiation in your breast, they shoot that radiation and squeeze your breast. Black women breasts are more dense than any other race. And so you're going to have something called fatty tissue, which can give you false positive. And the mammography is an invasive type of treatment that is very, very inaccurate. There's other tests that I would call like the elastogram, the ultrasound. There are other tests that's less invasive but more accurate, give you less positives. About 15 to 20 doctors went to jail, misdiagnosed or put persons on chemotherapy and radiation, knowing that that was not breast cancer. So what I'm saying to you is that we need to not put our lives in the hand of any man when God tells us what to do. We need to take responsibility for our health, responsibility for our life, and let's start focusing on prevention, preventative means. Our ancestors, our grandparents did it, you know. They didn't know the science behind it, but they did it. Let me give you an example. If I went to my Grammy and she see my nose running, she said, come here, you little bastard, come here. And you know what she would do? Guess what she would do? She would get some pawn bush. She would get some, let's say, the pawn bush, the japanese. And she said, your nose running? You weren't eating, or you're eating too much, you get worms. Come here. And I remember my grandmother. When she gave me these herbs, she would tell me, stand up on that rock right there. And don't move. You weren't eating until you puke or you stool. And I kid you not, be at the outside toilet in the island. Sometimes I'd be in the toilet bowl with a bucket in front of me, stooling and puking. I remember my grandmother had to take a pliers. She had to take a pliers because I had this worm just down hanging on my hip. I wouldn't come out and I scared. Mommy, oh my God. And I see this worm hanging on my hip like this. And she took the pliers and she pulled the worm. Today, now I want you to think about something very serious. Today, we don't see no worms coming out. But the diet has gotten worse. What is happening? What else is happening that never happened? Back then we had the worms coming out, right? And the diet was better. Today the diet is worse, and there are no longer worms coming out. Because the worms now are manifesting into infestation, and they're turning into putrefaction. Bioaccumulation has become morbid and rancid, and they're turning into many different diseases, strange disease, and they call it autoimmune disease, meaning that there's no cure for it, meaning that I don't know what caused it, and meaning I don't know what to treat it. And so now we have over 200 different autoimmune diseases. All of these different maladies and fluke worms that are causing a lot of problems in the body with all of these rare diagnosis and prognosis, and so they don't know how to approach it. So our diet has gone worse, and we are not cleansing. Every 2 weeks, we did a cleanse on the island. Now, our diet was not perfect by any stretch of imagination. We did not have a perfect diet, so I'm not standing up here telling you that on the island our diet is perfect, impeccable. No, but our grandparents knew that is necessary to cleanse. A dog, when the dog is sick, what the dog does? And then when they eat the grass, what happens? Thank you very, very much. So even the animals, the dumb beast understands that when you're sick, it's because something is inside of you that need to come out. Not by using a knife to take it out, or a tube to pull it out, but utilizing the body's natural excretory system to take it out of the system. The animals understand this. Now, where we don't stool, where we don't go to the bathroom, when somebody uses the bathroom efficiently, we get mad at them. Oh, this bird's stooling on my car. This dumb bird. But the bird have a healthy bowel movement. When the baby stool, let's change your pampers. Why you stool again? The baby have a healthy bowel movement. So because we go to the bathroom once a week or once a month, because somebody stools 3-4 times a day, we think something wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? Because we go once a month. You see what I'm saying? If you think about it, you eat a 3-course meal. If you eat 3 times a day, and you go to the bathroom once a week, 3 7s are 21. You walk around with 21 meals in your stomach. So my thing is, it's very, very important to do cleansing. A lot of us are full of toxins, and sometimes it manifests through our skin as psoriasis, as rash, as eczema, but that's telling us that the body has reached a threshold that it can no longer sustain. If you were to ball your fist, you would see that this is the size of your stomach. Ball your fist and look at it. That's the size of your stomach. Now I want you to take this fist, don't move, unball, and put your fist under your left breast right here. No, your left breast. Left breast says. That's where your stomach is. So what's this? What is this? Undigested fecal matter. I went to a yoga thing. Because I was stretching. I believe that stretching is very important because stretching assists with the oxygen go into the cells. And where there's oxygen, there's life. The very term alkaline means the body is in a state of oxygen, not sufficient oxygen and moisture. The very definition of acidity means the body will have sufficient oxygen. So stretching is very important. So this gentleman, he was stretching, and he said, man, I feel something tingling in my foot, what's that? So the guy said, what you mean, what's that? He said, when last you stretch? He said, boy, I don't remember when last you stretch. He said, you know what that tingling feel right here from your knee down to your ankle? That's oxygen going to your foot for the first time in over 10 years. Why do you think you feel so good when you stretch? The first thing a baby does in the morning when they wake up is stretch. The first thing a cat do when the cat wake up, stretch. The first thing the dog do, stretch. But we pay all kind of money to go to find out how to stretch. We go to yoga, we do this, we pay. But how often do you guys stretch? It's very important to stretch. It feels good too, right? It feels good when the oxygen goes to the body and your body starts to feel. I have a 2-year-old son. You ever heard the phrase, once a man? Finish it. Watch the children. The children are pure. They are pure. And they exemplify life. I have a 2-year-old son. Loaded with energy. Seamoss baby. Even in the womb, he was kicking and trying to come out. And you know something? I used to route, he has so much energy. Next thing, hold on, this place I'm in is so small, so he's trying to burn off his energy. But then I watch him. One day, I watch my son. I have a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old. The 7-year-old will be running around all day, just doing his thing, you know? And the 2-year-old, I watch him one day. I said, I wonder if I could do that. Once a man, twice a child. I said, I wonder if I could be like a child again. Let me see how easy it is. You know what he was doing? He was doing his hand like this. And he would do his foot like this. And he would do it. And I did it for 5 minutes and I was tired. I said, and I said, wow, that looks easy. That looks so easy to do, but it's not easy. That they're doing is exercising. And so I said, man, if I could do that. And I started doing that every day. And then I get less tired. I started getting less tired. Then it became easy for me. then I started, and so when he started doing his new move, I would do the new move that he got. I would walk him. And I learned a lot from him 2 years ago. I said, man, we see these children, and we say, stop running around here. Stop doing this. Stop doing that. And we get mad at them. But again, once a month, that child is actually teaching us how to live. We are not living. Take that out of your head right now. We are not living. Listen, sisters, as we in here tonight, there's some people in the hospital right now. Give me on. There's some people right now at the hospital there. There's some people praying around them right now. And they're fighting to live. And people are praying and they're holding their hands like this. And we are here and we have a choice. You know what I'm saying? But there's with that sadness that's happening right now with people there. There's people affected by that. When you look at how much murders is happening in this country, think about something. Everybody, child that they're killed, the person who killed them, their parents are gone. So the level of stress and anxiety in this community is leading to other disease. Believe that when I tell you that stress is contributing to many, many other diseases. So now you have a situation where we have issues, we have stress in our job. Listen to me, sisters. Listen to me carefully. Don't allow no human being to allow you not to lay your head on the pillow and sleep at night. Because if you allow somebody to cause you sleep, that person is, he might have to take a knife and shoot you. Because that person is lessening your life. That person is affecting you, your life force. They are killing your life force. You allow a human being on your job to stress you when you home here and say, oh, should I got to go to work today? Listen, man, I've proven it. There was a lady that came to me with breast cancer. And she was frightened. She went through so much. And I said, sister, listen to me carefully. You always been asked to sleep. She said, when my husband go to bed, I would wake up and I would cry from about 1 a.m. to about 5:30, 6 a.m. I would go and I would cry. In the shower, I would cry. I said, how long was doing that for? She said, I was doing that for about 3 months. I said, wow, that's crazy because you already have cancer and you're stressing him out now because I know he could see that. So when I finished talking to her, her husband came to me and he said, Moncur, I don't know what you did to my wife, but I have to wake her up now and wonder what she oversleeps. So stress plays a role with her. Don't allow nobody to stress your sisters. Don't allow nobody to cause you not to function at home, not to function. I know all of us have a stressful job. Life is not perfect. Life is hard. You would think with all of these technology, it would be easy for us. There's so much different things we can point out in life that affects us, from the kids in college, just in school, your child, your husband, your period on for 3 weeks out of the month. So you only have 1 week to service your husband and not 1 week to spot. So all of these different things contribute to stress. Because if your child goes to school and the teacher is stressed out from what I just said, she can teach your child. And if the man cannot have an erection, you think he can be a good person teaching your child?